Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you why I feel Telcoin is primed for liftoff and what the future value of this project holds. So you definitely don't want to miss this video. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So I'm over here on telcoinhub.com, and shouts out to Blue Lights and BZ for making this cool hub. Telcoin is sitting at 0.0038 and is up 5.16% over the last 24 hours. But this project is severely undervalued. And what is the best way to accumulate when something is below a penny? And it has value. And that's why we want to talk about what the value is with this project. And simply put, it's around the narrative of stablecoins or digital cash. And Telcoin is doing things a little bit differently. They are having the digital equivalent of cash in local markets. That's what they're trying to do. But Paul kind of talks about stable coins and digital cash and kind of like the difference of it. So let's go ahead and play the clip here.
Corridor from Europe is Germany to Turkey. But if you go into the World Bank's website right now, it's completely gone. Like everybody, 90% of that corridor has moved over informally to stablecoins. So, but I don't think that, at least in developed markets, do consumers really want to hold 15 different branded stablecoins? Probably not. There's definitely a use case. It's a lot better than say a gift card for Amazon, so it's a great way for, I think, companies to keep money within their balance sheet or in their ecosystem. But yeah, I feel that consumers are going to want more. They want to use digital dollars or digital RMB or whatever.
Yeah. So pretty short and sweet and to the point there. He's saying consumers don't want to hold all these different stable coins, but what they would like to do is hold what they're familiar with and digital cash in the local currency. And that is the way kind of the market is shifting. It's shifting towards stable coins, but they're taking it a step further and creating digital cash, which is back one to one with the local currency. But looking at 2024, $27.6 trillion flowed into the stablecoin market, right? So imagine that volume going through Telcoin. Now, a sliver of that volume going through Telcoin, but that's going to put more buy pressure and more uses on Telcoin, the gas token. And as you can see, the United States had 580 billion in volume. Again, just getting a sliver of that, but people will be trading, they'll be doing remittances, things like that. And then here, India, 95 billion. They do a lot of cross-border payments and remittances and trading. And that's what Telcoin does. You can trade within the app, you can do remittances. And I'm sure there's going to be there's going to be a lot of peer to peer. There's going to be business to business eventually. But this is what is potentially on the horizon for Telcoin. 68 billion in United Kingdom. So look at all this volume and the way people, it tells you kind of how the way they do things. But this is cross-border payments, business to business. And then here, Mexico, they do 38 billion. They do a lot of remittances and cross-border payments, which is Telcoin's bread and butter. Now, they also go on to talk about their kind of like their North Star and what other goals they have for this project. So let's go ahead and talk about it.
Awesome. So what's next on Telcoin's roadmap? What's something that you're excited about going live within the next quarter or two?
So we're obviously really excited to turn the digital asset bank on in the U.S., but we're also focused very heavily on within a year getting to where we have 3 billion people addressable market, 3 billion people that can open an account with us or download our app and get a local bank account number directly flowing into their country's a digital cash equivalent of their currency. And so that's kind of our North Star, at least from the consumer product standpoint. And that's something we're really excited about.
Awesome.
Yeah, so with Telcoin, what they're trying to do is, so the digital asset bank is set to launch in December. They raised 25 million for it. But imagine being able to connect to local banks, whether it's in the United States or globally, and then those consumers being able to create a bank account, get a debit card, and then transact in their local currency, which is a game changer. And they can swap their currency, whether they're just sending it peer to peer, or whether they're using it to, for example, have the digital cash of EUSD, trading that for like Telcoin or whatever other cryptocurrency is within the Telcoin app. You would have that ability to do it. But again, this is more familiar for the customer being in their local currency. And this is kind of how they're shifting things. And these currencies are back one to one with their local currency, and they're doing things differently. And also, what Telcoin is doing, they are essentially connecting blockchain technology with traditional banking rails from a regulated perspective. So that's how they're doing things differently. What is a flat out game changer? And you're probably asking, okay, so what would be kind of like the value of Telcoin because of all of this usage on the gas token? I've been saying like right around that 25-cent mark. Could this far exceed our expectations in the future? I definitely think so because of the use case and the way the market is shifting with the Genius Act, and everybody is kind of trying to do rush to market on stable coins, digital cash. But Telcom B roughly need to be around 24, 25 billion as far as a market cap to reach this kind of price point. And this is saying 24 cent, but to get around 25 cent, roughly 24, 25 billion is what you will be needing. But let's say, we can have some fun with this, looking at the best case scenario, like with Tron, if it had that, it would be a $29 billion market cap. But 31 cents. And again, it's all about fitting a need. So if you have 3 billion customers, and those 3 billion customers can create a bank account, and those 3 billion customers are trading within the app, they are sending peer-to-peer remittances, businesses are getting involved. And we haven't even talked about the whole telecom aspect of it, because Telcoin Network is a solution for telecommunication providers globally. This project has all the volume and all the expectations for liftoff. What is a flat out game changer? And kind of going back over here, going over to Telcoin Community Hub, there's a lot else going on that's going to help propel this project to the next level and lift it. They have an event coming up in Kigali. They have continuing to be out there in events. Flyover FinTech, they did that in September. They did the Digital Asset Summit not too long ago, October 13th. That's been done. So they are networking. They have the bank launch. They have the V5 app coming out, which will have like an extension to the digital cash with the EUSD and Euro stablecoin. This project is primed to explode. And feel free to come over here to telcoinhub.com. You can come over here. It'll tell you everything you need to know about Telcoin, as far as the holders, as far as the supply. It'll tell you about the markets where you can essentially buy on exchanges. I will leave my Telcoin referral link in the YouTube description if you want to download the Telcoin app. But all these different places where centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, all this here where you can go to essentially buy some Telcoin. And then you can come over here to learn even more about the proposals and what is out there and what they're trying to achieve to make Telcoin a household name. They're even going to have trading competitions. Looks like that's a proposal out there to have trading competitions, and people potentially could win some extra Telcoin. So pretty cool there. So I hope you gained some value from this video, as Telcoin is primed to explode and is ready for liftoff. I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.